Alright, I think this thing is on. What's up guys, it's Carl, aka Carl's Drum Tech, if you didn't know who I was. Now, I'm whispering because I'm about to reveal to you my #1 secret for getting good at drums. Alright, but before that, let me tell you that me and my friend huei-yuan are getting together to create a one-of-a-kind, first-of-its-kind product called the Drumline Blueprint. So if you are curious about that, go to drumlineblueprint.com or wait until after the end of this video because I'm about to reveal to you right now my #1 secret for getting good at drums. Alright, ready? It's gonna be earth-shattering, it's gonna be mind-blowing. So the #1 secret is massive amounts of repetition, and that's all. And you're like, oh my gosh, mind-blowing, earth-shattering, and I'm being sarcastic. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going, Carl, are you kidding me? I knew that. But think about it. Do you really? Because there are a lot of people who are telling me, hey Carl, you know, like I'm learning this part and I'm still not getting it, I'm still breaking a lot. Or hey Carl, like, you know, I'm trying to play these singles and I still can't play it that fast yet. And I asked them, so how long have you been playing drums? Oh, you know, like 3-6 months. What? There's almost like this audacity to think that you're gonna pick something up and then be good at it right away. It just doesn't work like that. There's a guy named Malcolm Gladwell who wrote a book called The Outliers, and he clocked mastery at 10,000 hours. That means guys like Michael Jordan, Bill Gates, the Beatles took massive amounts of time and repetition to get to a certain level, to get to where they were. So yes, they were special, but they also had to put in the work. That means you're not an exception. That means you have to put in the time. You have to pay your dues in order to get good. Now, here's the catch, all right? It's not just massive amounts of repetition. You have to have the right guidance. You need to have the right instruction to point you in the right way so that your massive amounts of repetition are productive. So you're not learning something wrong and doing it over and over and over again. That could be really hard to reverse, all right? So let me give you an example. All right, so now I've magically made this drum pad up here. Now I've magically received some sticks, and I'm going to show you the 4-2-1 accent grid. Now you may or may not know this one, but it's basically 4 counts of 16 notes, but you're going to accent the first partial, the second partial, the third partial, and the fourth partial, 4 counts each. So it goes like this: 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now you can't just put in massive amounts of repetition on that and get good. You have to know that you have to squeeze on that accent so it doesn't bounce back up, so that you can be low for the taps and have good height separation between your accents and your taps. And if you can't play to a metronome, and if you can't put your feet down in the right place, you are missing half the battle. So you need that information, you need that instruction. So what I've done is I pulled a little clip from the Drumline Blueprint that teaches you more about the 4-2-1 accent grid. So go to drumlineblueprint.com or click the link below, get more information. I'll see you guys on the other side. Yo, what's up everybody, it's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today I want to respond to a comment on one of my last videos. But before I do that, let me get out of this road so I don't die. If you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, okay, down below, if you have not subscribed to me already, so make sure you do that. And otherwise, let's get to it. So, one of the comments that was left in my video was, you know, hey Carl, like how do you do facial expressions when you drum? Can't seem to get it right, don't know what to do, not sure what is right or what is wrong. So they just wanted some advice on how to express themselves when they are drumming. So my take on that is that, you know, I mean I've definitely seen some sides of the spectrum where, you know, kids don't want to express themselves at all, where they just kind of just do the dead fish look, like, and then they just do that the whole time. So, you know, it can be very unengaging to the audience when the entire time you're drumming, you're like, let's say you're doing something exciting. Oh my gosh, it's so loud here. Let's say you're doing something super exciting and you don't show it, right, with any kind of facial expression. Now, here's the thing. I mean, back in the day, yeah, maybe it wasn't that cool or it wasn't that kosher to do facial expressions and just kind of have like a blank stare and drum and do all this crazy cool stuff, but still have like a very like a expressionless face, which is okay, you know, especially in a militaristic sense, right? Because that's where marching band comes from. It's like a military thing, right? So, you know, military like formation and discipline is all about like, you know, just having that blank stare, blank face, no expressions whatsoever. So, of course, marching band kind of adopted that. Now, today, there is a crap ton of expression where, especially if you look at the indoor scene, now let me pause on talking and just concentrate on making sure I don't die, because I am crossing the street right now. You know, just want to make sure that I'm not completely distracted by talking here on the video blog, and I want to make sure that I am safe and that I live so that I can do the next video blog. Anyways, alright, I think I'm safe. Alright, cool. Now, so what was I saying? Well, yeah, so now if you look at today's indoor marching scene, so obviously you're going to see a lot of facial expressions, especially if it, you know, if it calls for it in the show. Like, let's say you have a happy show, then of course you're gonna have a plethora of happy expressions. If it is an angry or dark show, then maybe you have an angry expression. And you know, for the most part, I think, you know, the default expression for marching drum lines is that angry, like, you know, scowl, and then, you know, when you hit a shot, it's like, ah! Right? So, I mean, that's how I interpret it. Like, you know, if I play stuff, if you watch any of my videos, I mean, anytime there's a shot, anytime there's an accent, you know, I just want to give that angry scowl or just that, like, you know, aggressive look, right? That's just my interpretation. I mean, you know, I think that's, in some ways, that's the standard. So, you know, you are not wrong if that is what you want to do. I mean, you know, hitting something hard can be a very aggressive thing, so that is okay. But you have to think about, like, you know, what is the context of your show as well. Like, you know, again, is it a happy show? So if it is a happy show, are you going to show, you know, a lot more smiling? Are you going to, you know, like, just not have that angry face and, like, you know, portray that in the show because you have a happy show, right? Here's the thing, like, I think no matter what you do, you have to interpret what you feel in a physical manifestation by how you express yourself with your facial expressions. Does that make sense, right? So if you feel a certain way, if you're like, let's say like the music just makes you want to groove, so you want to bob your head, so go ahead and bob your head. So, you know, if it like makes you feel good inside, like make sure that, you know, you show that, and there's really no wrong or right or wrong way to do that, but just express it in some way that you can see in your face. I mean, it's just, these are very subtle things that, you know, I can't really teach. Like, I can't teach you how to feel something and how to express how you feel. Does that make sense, right? No matter, I mean, here's the other thing too, right? It's like, you know, maybe you're feeling a certain way, but then because of social conditioning, because of, you know, like how you are afraid of how others might judge you, maybe you're holding back and you don't want to express yourself as much because you don't want people to look at you or pay attention to you when you're making these facial expressions. Maybe to you it's goofy, maybe to you it's like, you know, it's weird, and maybe other people will think that and therefore will judge you, and therefore you don't want to do it because you don't want to be judged. Does that make sense, right? So it's always better to show expression, because this is art, okay? It's a performance art. So we want to, you know, like, affect people and reach people in a certain way. And the only way we're going to connect with people is that, you know, if we show that kind of vulnerability, if we show that, you know, hey, you should like this music and let me express it to you by showing it in my facial expression. Because here's the thing, like, if you're not showing that you're having fun while you're performing, then why should the audience have fun when they're watching you perform? Does that make sense, right? So that's the most important thing, is you got to make sure that you connect with your audience. And one of the ways you can connect with your audience is by showing expression, okay? So your bottom line is, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just make sure that you act the way you feel, okay? So whatever you feel inside, try to have that outward manifestation in your face, in your expressions, in, you know, how you move your body. Obviously, do not go out of the context or whatever your show is, or whatever the drumline wants to do from a uniform standpoint. You know, don't overhype, don't overdo it. I mean, you don't want to stick out, right? Because it's an activity where, you know, we want to make sure that we're all kind of doing the same thing. But at the same time, you know, don't just say, well, I'm not going to express myself at all because I'm afraid of what other people might think. Does that make sense, right? So what I suggest, if you don't know what to do, I suggest you experiment. I suggest you try different things. I suggest, you know, going all out and having your instructor say, that is too much, hold back. That is okay as well, all right? So make sure that you experiment, like I said, and try different things. You know, maybe you go overboard, maybe you don't. And then you'll find something that works for you. You'll find something that, you know, that is unique to you and how you express yourself and how you dig the music. Does that make sense? All right, so show people that you really enjoy what you're doing, and they will in turn most likely enjoy what you are doing. Alright, so cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, please do me a huge favor, hit that like button. If you guys have not subscribed yet, like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave that in the comments below. As you can see, I do answer questions. And share this video if you feel like this video could help somebody else out. Alright, cool, peace out. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys want to watch more videos, make sure you click over here. And if you want to subscribe over here. Alright, peace out.